Out in.
Go! God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go! Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
That was cold-blooded, John. Did you see how quick I shut up, though? I was like,
yeah. Like, and we on.
Yeah, and we are here. We are late. We're 16 minutes late. I want to apologize. We are all living in different area codes. So sometimes things happen. Life be lifing for us all, fighting traffic to get here, leaving work early to get here. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This is things that people don't want to talk about. I want to welcome you to things that people don't want to talk about. I am God Level. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I am a mother. I am a nurse. I'm a Gigi. I'm an entrepreneur. I have this podcast. I'm a cousin. I'm a friend. I am everything good. Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Inattentive Ivy. That's my handle on TikTok. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. I've missed you guys, but happy to be here. Mother, sister, friend, former military broadcast journalist. I'm on TikTok and other platforms talking about the mental health journey and my own and keeping myself accountable with my own BS, and that's what I'm gonna do. We gotta keep it a buck here. I share my journey so that you guys can keep me accountable for my stuff too. So, and as always, like I said, we're gonna keep it a buck. Thanks, guys.
Killing in real time. That's what's up. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father. And if you are looking for a virtual personal trainer who's going to get you right for this summer, or maybe you just discovered that you need to lose some weight. Hey, I need to get these 30 pounds down. Hey, I got high blood pressure. Oh snap, I'm pre-diabetic. And you want to get some control on it. You want somebody to hold you accountable, someone who's going to be firm. I'm your guy, John Skywalker. Inbox me at master.johnskywalker on Instagram. Salute.
King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace. This is King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platform at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am of service to the community, family.
You sound a little low, boo.
Mm-hmm.
You sound a little low. You sound a little low.
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Sherman, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Well, I am Sherman Vaughn. I ain't really got
You
too much to say.
You sound a little low.
I sound a little
low?
Oh, that ain't fair. Man, hey, long story short, I'm really excited for this episode. I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks. I'm just ready to go.
That's what's up.
Ain't lie to you.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
That is what's up. All right, yeah, this is Sherman's pick. Hey, baby, we gonna support him all the way. If this question don't have you thinking about your life, is this a problem? Are you really living according to your values?
But before we get into that, we just want to remind our Facebook viewers that if you want to rewatch any of our greatest hits, visit our YouTube channel at God Level 102. Facebook will be deleting our videos after 30 days. So if you want to watch those again, and especially this one right here, you want to rewatch it again, go to YouTube, God Level 102. All right.
I love it. Thank you. Just go ahead over there and subscribe, because eventually that's where we're going to just move to. Go subscribe. All right. Who going first?
Let's all start here. Are we all on the same page as to what hypocrisy is?
Ivy, you want to go start Googling?
I mean, we not even like We're not even going to tiptoe into this joint. We just,
Yeah. Damn.
we just gonna walk right into it, rip the band-aid straight off the butt. Okay, all right. I hope that we're all on the same page.
I would hope so too.
Yeah, I mean, because it's pretty much do as I say, not as I do. You know, in a shorter term. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's out here, oh yeah, do as I say, not as I do. We all know what that is. So yeah, that's my very simple definition of hypocrisy.
Okay. No, me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, I've been trying to lead back. I'm working on it. I'm finding it. I ain't gonna even get on here and lie in front. I am finding it.
Yes.
I am finding it. Yeah. Forget that. I am finding it right now. Right now, I am in the process of rebuilding all of me and creating new value. So yeah, I am finding it right now. So, all right.
That makes sense.
All right, Kings, come on.
Well, how I look at hypocrisy is: are you able to look in the mirror? Just be able to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Because you can lie to everybody. I mean, only person you can't lie, you know, it's the person in the mirror. So, do you love everything? And if you don't, figure out what you don't. Try to watch how you move. Try to watch to make it shorter. Just to bind it all up. Figure out how you look at the world. Just really figure out how you look at the world. Because as soon as you do that, everything else will fall under that umbrella. And I would say only second to that is watch where you get your information from and watch how you take it in. That's it.
King?
Well, I'll say I had a little bit of a different view on this, and shout out to the many masks that I have used over the years to funnel my way through life, dealing with different pains, losses, misguided information, no information at all, and to sum all that up into one person, I think that the way that I think is primarily the right way to think, and it put me at a disadvantage and others that I deal with at a disadvantage. What makes it hard to accept who I am, but yet perpetrate being something that I'm not. So, for me, are we all on the same page? Fuck no, we're not. Period. If anybody says yes, you're lying. You're lying, period. That's it for now. I have more, but that's it for now.
You know, it just seems that sometimes if you shame the devil, you should be ashamed. You know, that's why this question is so relevant. It seems confusing because if we're all in agreement to the values that we all should live by, it should be assumed in the social contract that I have some authority to give you feedback. And that requires a basic level of trust, right? And it's no surprise when you take into account of all the skepticism and the cynicism in this country. But I think it's a good idea to talk about the background noise, right? If we skip over a definition of hypocrisy, like Ivy was signaling in the beginning, we risk assuming that everyone is on the same flight, on the same page. Defining it lightly keeps it universal but real, less academic. more of the, that feeling, right? So for John, hypocrisy is when you're not aligned with God. Hypocrisy is when you're not aligned with truth. Hypocrisy is when your walk doesn't match the talk. It's when your values and your life don't match, and it's screwing with your head. That part right there. It's when you don't have a clear mind, and an unclear mind makes impaired decisions. Next question.
Oh, we gonna put a pin in that? We gonna talk
I'm
about
like, I'm serious because
Wait,
I was
wait,
getting
what?
ready to start rattling off the theories, but like, let's start talking about them theorists.
Oh,
No, we're not gonna go. No, we're not gonna go there. We're gonna keep
No,
going.
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
we'll circle back. Trust me. You know, I got
Because
a lot to say.
I'm gonna call it. This is gonna end up being a part 2. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm calling it early. It's gonna end up being a part 2. Go ahead.
So there is this psychology theorist named Carl Rogers, right? He specialized in humanism in psychology, right? And he came up with the idea that everybody is supposed to be working towards their higher realized self. Everyone, they have their own answers. Everyone is on a path to be self-actualized, right? So if you're speaking about and he said that depression, anxiety, and other mental maladies, they came from a place. Now here it is now, right? They came from the disconnection from your actual self, and what you perceive is your actualized self. I'm gonna say it again. The difference and the distance between your actual self and who you think or who you want to be.
There's a discrepancy.
There's a discrepancy in all of it. So if you are not living your values, if you are not living on your own values, let me go ahead and put it that way too, because a lot of times, go ahead and keep it a buck. Hypocrisy is taking stuff from our parents, their parents, their parents' parents, and bringing it into today, into this life. So the hypocrisy in living somebody else's values is a lot of times where, let me go ahead and just keep it for myself. That's where I was fucked up. And I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go on mute because y'all know I talk a lot.
No, that was good.
I'm just saying, y'all know I talk a lot, so I'm just trying to.
So this is about living authentically, right? And if you're living authentically, you're living according to your values. They're always in the forefront of your mind, at least in most of your decision making, right? So
absolutely.
If you're a kind person, you're going to be looking for opportunities to be kind. You know, if you're a generous person, you're looking for those opportunities, because those opportunities are just mediums for you to express yourself, right? It's no different than, your job. Like, hey, I'm looking for an opportunity to make some money. I'm trying to put in some hours today. Okay, put in some reps for these values. Every opportunity you get to be honest, that gets you closer and closer to mastering it. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're really about your values, you're supposed to be in practice with the values, right? Because they give you a benefit. That's the essence of it. There's a benefit there. There's an outcome, right? But let's keep it moving. What does hypocrisy feel like? And do we ignore that feeling, or do we rationalize it away? Think about a time that you were hypocritical. What did that feel like?
Ooh, embarrassing.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Embarrassment.
Because you know better. And stuff like that. But rationalize it away. I would bet that. I would bet that's probably 99%. Maybe not of people, but I think that's common. But I also think that's human. I also think it's human. I think it's a part of what we doing here. Because I'm simple. I think we only down here for 2 reasons: figure out how to love each other and procreate. The only people that's living on this planet that ain't doing it for free. Everybody else, everything else. But that's how I look at things. And definitely, to answer that question, very simply, rationalize it away.
Ooh. Oh, come on, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn. Ooh, man. Let's talk about that parental hypocrisy. Ooh. Let me go on mute because I got a lot to say about this.
No, that's the whole point. Say
All
it.
right, all right. I'll go ahead and take a crack. So, first part, right? What does it feel like for John? It felt like a punch in the gut. Sometimes it feels like background noise, like this humming in the background. Like uh, it's just so staticky. It feels like electricity, anxiety. Like it's a little burn, right? It's a little burn, but it's in the background. It's like slow cooking, right? Um, yeah, it's like this buzzing in my spirit. Feel low energy. Sometimes I'm coughing. I'm getting sick. You know, it feels like, oh shoot, who I've been around, right? Feels a little toxic. I can feel myself getting weak, right? Do we ignore it or rationalize it away? I think we do both. I think it just depends on the day, and how much stress we're enduring. You know, you know, what's the resources that are available. Ignoring it is a quick fix, but when you rationalize it, it's a little bit more smooth, right?
Yeah.
You could say things like everybody's done it, or hey man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, or you can't get them right all the time. Um, it's a band-aid. It's a band-aid of guilt. That's what it is. The guilt is usually in place of that wound.
Perfect.
Someone punched me, boom, and then it's like, all right, I got some broken bones here, but I'm gonna put a band-aid of guilt on here, and I'm gonna let that guilt punish me for being out of alignment. And I'm gonna also try to rationalize it to liberate myself from it. Cole, you stupid. Wow. Wow.
You can't get down on yourself. You just
So there's a voice too. There's a voice.
you down on yourself.
Yeah, there's a voice that comes from it too. And the crazy part is that's not even your voice. That's the voice of the emotion. Right? Because there's a wound there. Like you're not living in that hurts, yo. That hurts. There's something's gonna come out of that. Something's gonna speak like, hey, we ain't it, bro. You ain't him, bro. Let me remind you, you ain't him. But go ahead and say you him. Yeah, that's that guilt feeling. That's an imposter syndrome.
Oh, impossible.
Man, I was about to say, I'm like, I love the fact that Glenn brought this up. It's like, you know, like how it feels like as a parent when we live in hypocrisy, you know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. I will speak from my own place, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to try to keep it a buck and focus shit on myself. For a long time, I didn't even know as a parent how long I was living in hypocrisy because of the fact, like I said, I had adopted the people around me. Like I adopted their values, not realizing how much they didn't fit my own, how much they didn't fit my own life. You know what I'm saying? So from the beginning, and I tell my kids this all the time, I apologize for parenting them opposite of what my actual values were, like the ones that I have now, you know, because before I parented from a place of like, of other people's values, of my parents' values, of their parents' values, and the hypocrisy, I was numb. What does it feel like? What did it feel like? I was numb. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't wake up to any emotion. I shoved it so far down that I want to be able to say that I parented my kids out of love, but if I wasn't parenting out of my values, if you value love, you value your own things. I don't even know. Like I think I was just like parenting them out of survival. And to be completely and totally honest, that's what I was doing until I sat with myself and got to know it myself. You know what I'm saying? So I felt numb. In these days, because of the fact that I'm doing my healing, I'm on my healing journey. What does it feel like now? I literally feel icky. I feel something that they call clinically cognitive dissonance, and it is the most, you want to smack somebody in your mama feel, like you want to smack somebody's mama in the mouth feeling ever. You get like the bubbles in your stomach. It's like you just feel like ants are crawling on you. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy, you know. So like once I finally figured, like if I was to turn this around and show y'all my mirror right now, I have my values written on my mirror. Dead stop. And it was not because of this podcast. I wrote them on there probably 6 months ago. And that's because the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I'm like, I got to live and I got to love according to them. So I'm not living in hypocrisy like I used to. I'm going to shut up now.
No, that's what's up. Can we get an example? Give us one.
Absolutely. Okay, so like I did not know that one of my own personal values was like creative expression, autonomy of my creative expression, right? Because when I was younger, art was looked as like it was folly, it was dumb, right? So I don't share on Facebook, but I share now. I started sharing on TikTok because I realized that one of my most important values is to wake up in the morning, chase dopamine, be creative, right? And that also means that I've got to let my kids have room for their creative expression as well. Like back in the way that I grew up, if you took something out of the house or you used something that wasn't nobody supposed to be, you ain't supposed to be writing on your shoes. You ain't supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. Nah, that's my baby trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to
being creative.
That's them being creative. I got to let them have that outlet because I want to live an autonomous life. I got to let my kids live an autonomous life too. Now we have left and right limits, right? But still, that's a part of my life is creative expression, and one of their values is a creative expression as well. So I got to let them live that, and that's how it shows up for me now.
You're creating something new within your own family. That's beautiful.
It is fucking hard because I don't have a roadmap. I mean, I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody does. We go off of what we have been raised to do. Yeah. That's it. That's it. But you're creating your own.
Gents, you want to take a crack at this, or you want to move on to the next one?
No, I got mine out. I've been sitting back and listening.
I gotta say something face. I'm sorry. He just got the I gotta say something face.
So say it. Say it, brother.
I'm gonna throw an example and then I'm gonna build off of it. So with the question that was just asked, it's nothing more than trying to play the lottery. You go in it thinking that you know what it is to know to win. Then you play and you find out, you don't know. You know nothing behind the scenes of what it takes to even pick certain numbers or even a scratch off. But you assume, I'm going to win this. I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. You living off the dopamine of thinking that you got control and putting yourself in a position to win just because you showed up. You ain't winning nothing. Furthermore, you know how many people prior to you? Billions with the same understanding. And nothing came of it. Nothing. And you still have that feeling telling you, like John said, try it again. We gonna get it this time. Just one more time. It ain't gonna hurt. We gonna make it. We gonna get it there. And no, this is right. I know what happened. Shh. I got you. Just one more time. It's no different when you show up at work, show up for your family, show up for yourself. You really be disingenuous sometimes thinking that the value or the core or what you think your idea of what's supposed to be good, what it looks like. And your good is not the good for your children. Your good is not the good for your boss, your supervisor, your lead. No. Your good is only your good for the moment that you had that thought. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't really define the space that you're entering in, because everything changes situation to situation, second to second, minute to minute. Anything could teeter you off of where you thought you had your value at or your core understanding. It'll switch you up. Like in life, it'll throw you so many lemons. You'll be like, well, I did make a glass of lemonade, but yeah, it was to your liking. But But you didn't realize it was lemonade till you was told it was lemonade. So once again, no matter how many, well, I'm going to say this for me. I'm understanding more and more. My thoughts are not my thoughts. Even though I hear my voice, I hear the breakdown, I hear the analogy, I hear the understanding, I hear all of that. Still not my thoughts. Nothing I could think of. It ain't new. Somebody probably just said it over in Tobias somewhere. Exactly like how I said it, or did it exactly like how I did it. We are nothing more than universes carbon copied off of other universes, and we're colliding left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm imprinting on you, you're imprinting on me, we're imprinting over there. I picked up a word last week that I applied to what they said over there. We can't say nothing is original because we weren't the beginning. So any of our values over time, yeah, we cultivate them to build something that we think is the right way to go about doing something, but everybody got their hand in it. Even with me talking about supreme mathematics. You know how many hands that probably passed through before I even got my hands on it? And you know how many people after me that's probably going to put their hands on it and think they got a new spin to it? Has a core, but I wasn't there when it originated. I mean, I'm still going to try to, quote unquote, yeah, I got it. Today's math is. I'm pretty sure somebody else said the same thing. I just don't happen to be in their universe when they said it. Mm-hmm. That's all. Miss Tanner just said it. Who am I to try to push my ideology on my children on how they should express themselves? Well, it's no different than when Miss Tanner go into the world trying to express herself and someone just steps in, boop, peekaboo, hey, hi. By the way, I just want to stop in and let you know you could tweak. Wait a minute, I didn't ask you for your input. What I think is genuine and true to me and what I got going on. But you know what? I think I will take some cream with that coffee. It sounds good. I'm going to apply it. So where's the true, like the real core, the real value of you really coming from? Some people would say that probably takes shadow work. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing something out. I'm just trying to push the, I'm gonna say the field goal. I'm just pushing the field goal back just a little bit. Where's your real value coming from? Where's your real understanding coming from? Even when it comes to knowledge itself, where's that really coming from? Where's your true consciousness coming from? All of us on this panel at some point had an epiphany. At some point, we linked in to this space of quote unquote nothingness and had an idea out of nowhere, supposedly. And we build on it. Now, does it work? I don't know. It's neither negative nor positive, but I'm pretty sure that if we try to apply it, it sounds good, but is it our true value? Not to denote anything that's already been said on the panel. I'm just saying, is it our true value according to what we think it's supposed? We've maintained it since birth. I'm just saying, even in the healing process, we still have. Now I remember my grandma said to my auntie, and then that day I got that whooping about, and I was told that the way I was going about doing it, but in my mind it sounded like it's the right way. I sat down with the math teacher. He was like, "How did you get this answer?" And my question was it the right answer? Yes, the right answer, but you didn't use the right formula. It don't matter. In my head, this makes sense.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm right. Okay. All right.
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
I like that, Glenn.
That is. Ooh.
Yeah. I like that. That's very true.
Yeah, it's initiative. It's integrity. It's a value, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Why is it so common? Hypocrisy in society.
Because we have seen so many people say who they are and end up being not who they are.
So examples, okay, we see it seems like the status quo. There's plenty of examples. You got prescriptive, right? You got the prescriptive norms where, all right, this is what we say we do, but then
You do
the
something
actual
different.
norms
Yeah,
don't really. All right, so we're actually seeing it. That's why
it is
we're actually
easy.
seeing. Okay,
It's easy
Where are my notes?
in
it's
social media
easier.
world.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
You jump
Where are my
online
slides?
right now.
okay.
What you say?
No,
Do as I say, not as I
not as
do.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it easier to preach values than it is to live by them?
Oh my goodness, all the
Ask the
time.
preachers.
I was going to say,
I don't know.
Go ahead. I'm not there.
I don't know about this one right here as I look at it, right? Because
It
it's
is.
a very open question, right? You have to really think about who you're asking when
Who
it
you're
comes to
having
that
that
question,
conversation with? Yeah, who
right?
you
Because
about?
if you're just asking this one-on-one John, whole world against John, is it easier to preach values than to live by them? John is going to say, it's easier for me to show you than to preach them because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about it. Really, I don't want to talk about it. I'd rather show you and you just watch. And then
Yeah.
you can ask the questions like, hey, all right, hey, as we go, I'm going to keep showing you as we go, but I'm not going to say a whole lot. Just do as I do. You see this dance? This is humility. You see it? Just watch and do it. Just watch and do it. And then once you do it, you will understand it. I could tell you, I could preach it, but to me,
You
it's
do it.
easier. And I say ease because I'm effectively trying to communicate this value to you. Preaching is not necessarily effective in communication, right? You can say it, right? But really, you have to consider the audience. Who learns best? Is it the person that's just listening or is it the person that's observing? Because you could get a clearer understanding of the context and you won't get it misconstrued. Like you see, okay, John, what is your generosity in this context, in this context, in this whole world's watching me, right? This context. It's easier for me to show you than to talk about it because at least you'll believe me. That's easier for me than talking about it because you may not believe me. And then I got to convince you. And that's too much work. And that's hard.
It's funny that you say that. Not funny, but it's very clarifying that you say that. That it's easier for you to live in those values, right? The reason why I said that is because almost like King Newborn just said, right? Like people have different definitions of what their values are. So a person can be like, yeah, I live in honesty, I live in truth, but what their truth really is that they like to be hypercritical against people and they don't understand that that's not truth. That is just judgment. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like people have their definitions of what their values are and what it means to them, but it's not a universal. There's not a universal language for that value. It's up to that person's interpretation. I think so. I think that that's what we can look at and be like, oh, that's the reason why values can look hypocritical, right? Because of the fact that like we're all individual peoples, and sometimes people can have different truths, right? Because somebody can be like, oh yeah, I'm a boss, but they're not telling you. They think that their boss or their money-minded thing is they think that that's what they live by, but what they're really doing is just stunting for the gram and not paying none of the bills.
So yeah, there could be a difference of opinion or a difference of viewpoint on the continuum. So it could be compassion or passion or inspirational. Oh, okay, well, you're not this inspirational, but you're inspirational. You're this inspirational, not this inspirational though. But you're on the spectrum. You somewhere up in there.
Right.
I wanted, as you were talking, I started thinking about something also in lieu of the first part of the question. Just from a survival point of view, right? Just think about the tribe, that has resources, people, things, water, sustenance. And let's just say you're not as hardworking as the rest of the tribe, but you need the tribe to survive. So one or two things got to happen. You got to adapt to this situation, right? Are you going to, with your lips, say that you're as hardworking as them and boast about how hardworking you've been, right? Lay out the resume. no receipts. They ain't never seen you out there. Or you actually gonna put in the work and just risk, you being exposed for not being a hard worker, right? You go out there, you work with these jokers right here, and you realize, oh shit, I am not a hard worker. These can work. I can't do it. I can't do it.
They did it
And then the
different.
tribe says, oh, look at this weak mother. You out the tribe. Oh, dang. But what if you would have lied and said, yo, I put in the work, and then you kind of bedazzle them with your charisma and you speak on it like you really know it? Because I mean, again, a good story sells, right?
Man.
Ooh. Whoa.
So I think that's also kind of primitive in terms of how societies are formed. We all express these shared values, right? And so any outsiders, or shoot, even folks that's within the tribe, right? That's within the circle, within the community, there's a little bit of a burden there. If you don't live up to those values, how is the community going to perceive you? And are they going to be willing to share their resources with someone who does not share their values? Survival now is at stake. Do you compromise how you truly feel in order to survive? Because survival looks different in every situation, even at the upper class. It looks different for them than it does when you're poor. Survival could be aligning with people that don't really have your best interest at heart, but they have leverage. But down here at poverty level, it's more violent. It can be a little bit more sinister. It can be a little bit more aggressive versus that blue collar up there. I'm sorry, that white collar up there, that suit at this level, having to compromise their integrity for, maybe $500,000. And it's like, well, hey, listen, I got this $500,000 home and I got kids in private school. This is my compromise at all levels, right? It's a question of, are your values as strong as they are, as strong as you think they are when you're faced with survival level threat?
Come on.
Are you still gonna have that same integrity? Oh, go ahead.
I was just getting ready to say, I was like, we already know what happens to the 1% when they get pushed, because all we have to do is just say target and DEI.
We've been on a roll. Okay. Some of that is tariff. Some of those are tariffs, but okay, that's to the side. But yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, like their whole entire platform was built off of supporting Black creators and all that kind of stuff, and also being inclusive of the LGBTQ community. But then, hey, look, we're gonna start taking money away from you, or we're gonna put X, Y, and Z. Okay, all right. Now we're just gonna change up everything. I'm just saying, that's not the only company, that's not the only entity, that's not the only organization. So I mean, if you've got corporations who are capable of doing that when they're in survival mode, or they feel that they're in survival mode, then think about what the regular person is going to do. And I want to point this out, if you don't mind. If you are a hypocrite, own it. Because it's human, and we've all been hypocritical at some point in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoever is living out there in the universe, you know what I'm saying? Whoever is watching. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was a hypocrite last week. I apologize for it though.
You see what I'm saying? But it's human.
Me too.
It's very human. The part that we need for people to see that, recognize what it is. And then own that shit. Like I talk to God level all the time. And I'll be like, man, I gotta eat that shit. That is my go-to quote these days. Because I know I am capable.
She's not lying.
I'm not. I know.
Yeah, I gotta eat that.
I know I am. However, I choose not to live in it anymore like I used to. That's it. I'm going back on you.
Yeah.
Kings.
Well. I'll jump out. I'm trying to kind of remember why is hypocrisy so common. Just like I mean, I'm taking a lot off of what you guys said too, but because I think it was already said, survivability, and everybody wants to, and survivability may look like something different to you, but even when it comes to being a child, you just want to fit in. You want to be a part of the norm. So if hypocrisy is it, let's go for it. It doesn't so much matter because you see so many people doing it. It may not be correct, but I think if you don't have a good value at home from, I would definitely say both parents, hypocrisy attacks you much quicker. It's about where do you hold your values? Do you hold it? What government do you hold your values at? What religious book do you hold your values at? It even goes down to simpler for me. What opinion do you take over yours? So we'll look at that. We'll look at that, and then we can judge you. But people don't even have those. They just go off of whatever. Because people pick up Jesus like a remote. They only pick it up when they want to change something. Shit. That's what I
got to log off.
I say it one more time. People do what?
People pick up Jesus
for entertainment purposes only. For entertainment
purposes, just when they want to change the channel, because they already been doing what they've been doing, and hypocrisy has been okay. So they make it okay for 6 days, but that 7th day they say it's bad.
But they know this already. They know it's a problem within the community. They already know this. So it's not. We're not calling out anything that they already know. They do it to. They do it to each other, right?
And the second half of that question, show it. That's all I can do. Because preaching it, I refuse to preach. I refuse to try to convince you of something that you already don't believe in.
Yeah.
So I rather show you, and then you can judge how I live, which is fine because I'm okay with the judgment. I'm all right with it because I am who I am, and if I think I'm going in the right direction, I got enough ideas, I got enough people, and I got enough examples and receipts to bounce it off of to kind of show that I am a good person. I am, and I got good core values because I don't disrupt. I always have a calm energy about me. I think calmness and a beard shows wisdom.
That was cute. I loved it.
My
the beard.
That's me. That's me. You know, that's all. I'll take that one on the chin. I'm gonna eat that shit.
Yeah, because I ain't seen a monk yet with a beard. They
right.
Never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone.
It's
all good. No, it's peace.
I'm
with it.
But I think it's your demeanor. I think it's your demeanor that'll show your hypocrisy or kill it. A lot to what John said backstage. Yeah. It's an ego thing, but we'll get into that.
All right. So, God level, does hypocrisy affect our mental health?
Oh, real quick before she answer that, I just want to say this: the teacher will always show up, no matter what form, what thing, what person. It would always show up when the student is ready to learn.
Ready to learn. Make me go buy that stuff and send it to John. I'm gonna send it to him too. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out.
Does hypocrisy affect our mental health?
Yes.
Mental health. Explain. I'm just gonna go ahead and say yes, but y'all know that I am in a new building stage. I am recreating myself right now and my values and what is important to me. So I am learning. And yes, being a hypocrite does affect your mental health. You have to remind yourself daily to be this person, even though you're this person. Just constant, you know. It's like two people in one. I'm gonna leave it in there.
But like John says, you gotta get them reps in. You gotta get them reps in every day, man. It's like literally like reforming. Like even reforming reforming your values, reforming who you are. You have to get those reps in. And when you're faced with adversity, when you're faced with a mentality of lack, like if you're hit with something that takes you out or brings you back to whoever it is that you were, that's a chance to lift that heavy weight and be like, all right, I gotta lift this heavy weight right now. And I can't go back and be the person who I was. I can't go back and be the hypocrite that I was. You know what I'm saying? It's that chance to lift that rep, you know? Man, y'all don't be thinking y'all don't be thinking brothers don't be thinking I be listening, but I be listening, man. I be downloading that shit.
I love that.
All three of y'all.
I love
as a
that.
remote.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What? I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm
Jesus has a remote. I'm surrounded by. I ain't gonna say I'm surrounded by a lady who claims to be Jesus soldier. You know, yet every day she walk into that job. She'll speak to everybody but me.
She doing the conscious work. Yeah.
What's she at on the job?
They barbecued. She offered everybody else. She looked me dead in my face. I looked at her, and she didn't say a word. I said, "And you claim Jesus? Like you?"
Shout out to survival remorse.
Jesus.
Yeah. I say that to say, first of all, to the lady you talking about, peace and love, and let her tune in one day. We can use all the viewership we can get.
Absolutely.
But Sherman, I like what you said there, Miss Tanner. Love it. I just want to say that the brain, I don't care what you put it through. It's either going to talk you out of it or it's going to talk you into it. Period. It's always trying to survive. It's trying to adapt. And then it's also trying to grow and develop at the same time. It doesn't stop until you stop. So if you stop receiving information, you're dead anyway.
Exactly.
You know, so you can keep challenging yourself on everything that you learn up until right now. But just remember, it's still more to learn.
Tell me about it.
And the more you add to that, the more you're going to change what you originally thought was all to learn at that point. Again, at that point.
It's more.
At that point. So we constantly changing our core values, and we keep on it building on top. But we have to have a basis to all of this. And sometimes we have to deceive ourselves in order to make a base. Got to go through some bullshit sometimes. With sometimes misinformation or just being misguided. And I hate to say it, I've misguided myself several times off of misinformation. Think that this was it. You know, because I picked up that remote. Just to say, you know, that's all I'm saying. I ain't going to say all the rest. I picked up that remote and I tried to build off of it. Now, there were some values that I was able to extract and apply it to my life. I'm going to say that much. But as I continued to learn, I was like, why the fuck did you give me that remote? Why did you give me that remote? I could have. No, you couldn't have, because the brain wasn't ready at that time. You wasn't ready to receive. Again, the teacher was revealed itself when the student is ready to learn.
Yes.
Every time. But sometimes ego get in the way. Man, you can't tell me shit, man. You ain't ready to learn. I'm gonna let you have it. I'll be silent. I'll let you have it. And sometimes it's no different than a cartoon. You got, you know, the white person, well, the white colored figurine over here, and you got the red colored figurine over here, and you in the middle. But it's still all you. It's still all you. Even though you try to separate it, it's still all you talking to you, trying to figure out where do we go from here. And that is definitely a struggle, because I'm good at arguing with me. Like, you know, you done fucked up, don't you? You know you done fucked up. Now you got to tuck your tail with a little bit of humility and go over there and I apologize due to my ignorance, because I didn't know. I thought I did. I knew a little bit, but I didn't know. I didn't know it all. I didn't know shit. But I'm trying to get them reps in.
Heard that.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get them in. Because life is forever learning. You never gonna make, ain't no way. I'm gonna tell you this much. I feel like if you were able to learn everything, you would cease to exist immediately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Period. Watch the movie Lucy.
Oh man, that's a big one.
Wait a minute.
That's a big one.
Wait a minute. Because I absolutely love Lucy. And I hear people like, oh my God, Lucy is so horrible. I'm like, I will watch that joint on repeat because it blew my mind. Okay. We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Right,
but I'm just saying.
right.
I'm like, what?
Matter of fact, our opening theme song. There's a phrase in there. Everything. I am. You know what? I'll leave that alone.
Okay, anyway, because I'm ADHD right now. Anyway, yes.
We had a conversation about that, and I wasn't ready. But me and brother talked about that movie a long time ago, and I didn't see what he's seen, and I just wasn't ready. I had to watch it again. Like I seen, but the way he broke it down, he opened my mind to see it. I was just like blown away. He was like, "Go watch it. Go watch it again." And I watched it again, and I was just like,
"Bro, I'm over here like seriously having a hamster moment because that movie blew my mind."
It was so good. Yeah, I can watch it again. Yeah.
But I want to answer this question though. Can I take?
Go ahead.
Can I take it? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's okay to change your personal values because, as King Newborn just said, your values fluctuate because you learn more stuff. You get more downloads, right? Yeah. As you get older, some of the values that you had when you were 20 don't apply when you're 35. Some of the values that you had at 35 are not going to apply when you're 50, right? So I'm just saying it is absolutely fine to change your personal values. And how do you handle the social perception of being deemed a hypocrite? Motherfucker, I'm human. Bitch, I gotta eat that. I learned something new.
There you go.
Ta-da! You know what I'm saying? I mean, people who think that you're not allowed to change your perception or think that you're not allowed to learn something different. People hated on Malcolm X after he went and took his Mecca and he came back and he was like, this is the way I'm viewing stuff after this. What happened after that? Get your hand out my pocket. Bam. We already know, right? Because of the fact that people couldn't handle the fact that he was allowed to change his mind. Because people wanted to see Malcolm X for what they wanted to see Malcolm X for.
Control.
Instead of realizing that he was 3D. He was not a 2D.
He was truly liberated. And so, when the oppressed see someone that's truly liberated, there's some hate. There's some hate there. Some envy, some jealousy. Well, not envy, but there's some jealousy there. There's a threat there. Yeah.
King got that.
Who else? Is it okay to change your personal values? Who else?
Have you looked up? How many times have you taken time out to see the weather? Huh? That shit constantly changing. It ain't never the same. You can attach it. Oh, this is rain. Yeah. It's raining hard as shit outside. Yeah. Oh, it's windy. Nigga, it's 65 miles an hour winds knocking over trucks. It ain't just windy. What? Change.
This is nor'easter.
Well, hold on. Let's give this some practical because we're kind of getting airy here. All right. The reason why this matters is you can select regions where the climate might be a little bit more warmer. I like that Cali weather, but Georgia's okay too. I would choose Georgia over Michigan, Ohio, New York, right? I get to choose the ambiance, the air in which I, have my values, right? Now, there is a chance that there's other variables in there, other values that I may not like, other parts of the weather that I may not like, okay, hey, some of that California heat might be too much for me.
Yeah. Right.
Am I willing? I can see that.
Right, so the weather changes, right? The weather changes, but there's predictions in that. There's predictions. Hey, okay, what is the chances of me actually experiencing snow this year? Why? Because I don't have a car that's built for that. It's my environment. I'm preparing myself in how I'm going to navigate and function in my environment. So the values are about functioning in your environment. How are you going to operate in your environment? Is the shit coming from top down or is it bottom up? Which way is it? So if we're talking about the weather, I can't control the weather, but I can choose where the weather is.
In most cases, you can.
Yeah, I love it.
But it's still the mindset. It's gonna change. Period. You know, you could be in Cali, but then there's somebody in Minnesota, and I could look at the clock and have the same time, but y'all experience is different of the weather.
Yeah.
And you're still on this globe. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you building that with that. And I'm gonna speak for King Newborn. You might not like it from a social perspective, but if you refuse to change, you would delete whatever the future is supposed to be for you. You have to change, man. The brain is constantly want to know more and more and more. Even if it subjects itself to bad habits, it wants to learn more. It is survival. It wants to learn more input. I want to touch. I want to feel. But then what we do, we get stuck in our uncomfortable comfortability of life. And sometimes that's a cesspool of pain, cesspool of struggle.
Stagnation.
Hella stagnation.
Yeah.
Refusing to change because I feel like I'm always going to be who I was when I was in high school or be the spoiled brat I was as a kid. It's impossible to do that. You can't, man, that frontal lobe a motherfucker. You have to let it evolve. You have to give it more information. You got to continue to download. You can't stay stuck. Yeah. But like John said, due to the atmosphere, I can still pick and choose. I can still pick and choose what part of this atmosphere I really want to be in. Is this weather conditioned for my consumption of living life? And if it's not, I got the choice to change. Maybe I need to move to the south side. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Right. So here we are with the decision to make a commitment, right? The decision to make a commitment to these changes and values. Let's just say, for example, all right, we're talking about evolution. Are your values the same as they were when you were 20?
No.
Things change, right? You learn. You said, okay, I'm going to probably let these values go. I'm exchanging them for these. Hey, I used to value a whole lot of freedom and spontaneity. Now I need a little bit more security and stability in my life, reliability, responsibility, right? So you may add more values in there. You may enhance and say, I'm going to keep these, right? So you make the change in your values. How do you handle the social perception of being deemed a hypocrite? Because I'm all for the whole, hey, I don't have to explain myself to you. But when John says it, I say it with a lot of sugar because I'm like, yeah, no. Because if I care about you, me explaining, it's a courtesy. I don't have to. I'm doing this as a courtesy. That's just more value to me being who I am. But I can at any time, yes, it's true. I can at any time not justify the change, not justify the evolution, not explain the change in values. I can do that. But if I care about this relationship, clearly communicating, hey, there's been a change in my life and I know it's going to impact you and I want this thing to keep rocking and rolling. So I'm going to communicate to you these changes in values. How are you going to adjust? Is this going to change? Right? We're evaluating, right? We're being responsible here. I'm changing my values. That's going to impact other people. It's going to impact my social circle. Whether it uplifts them or maybe, hey, they just fall off the branch because they're too toxic to hang on. Right? There's no superiority here. It's just about compatibility. So I think that part is very important. That let's just take, for example, Snoop. All right. A lot of us were disappointed. Right? We were disappointed that Snoop said one thing back in 2016 and performatively done something contrary to what he said in 2016. Disappointed, right? But if you look at his brand throughout his whole career, the scope of his career, right? He's always chased the bag. Is it really a compromise in his values? We didn't form an agreement. We heard what he said, right? But we're taking what he said within a certain context at that time, and then suddenly it applies differently here. But did we really know who this man is? Like that's saying that's making the statement, looking at his whole brand. He's about getting the bag. His brand is world, it's global, right? So if he's chasing the bag and it's the bag that we don't agree with, even though he said this, it's like, is it really a hypocrisy? Because how often do we see it? How often do we see him doing that, right? And I think we also get it misconstrued that, all right, he never made a promise or commitment to us. So I think that's the other part when it comes to celebrities, right? There is this social contract. It's like this this presupposed agreement that if I support you, I'm supporting these values, right? But there's no verbal agreement. There's no contract, like no real hard contract. It changes. And we have to always consider that, yo, when this person gets to this level, I've never been up here. So I don't know what they're going to, I'm supporting them up there, but I don't know what's going to happen when they get up there. And so I have these expectations, these attachments, and I'm holding them accountable to something that they never agreed upon, right? We do this as fans, as supporters. We do this. Social media has made them more accessible. And so if they do anything that's disagreeable, we call it hypocrisy. We're criticizing them. We're ready to cancel them. But maybe, hey, y'all just don't understand. You have to be here. You have to be where I'm at in life. I'm still, down, but you have to understand where I'm at in life compels me to change these values. But what if they don't give you that explanation?
You did what you had to do. Honestly, I mean, and in context of that, they did what they had to do. I get it. It was what worked for you at that time. And I have to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've got to align myself. And I feel about this the way that I feel about, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, I understand why you did it, I mean, if you were always chasing the bag and you felt like you needed more money, whatever it is that you choose, here is one of my things with changing values, right? And I guess I'm looking at this from a marketing standpoint. You're allowed to do whatever it is that you want to with your own self, with your own brand, right, with your own company, with whatever, right? But when people literally, when they start changing their brand, they start changing the company values and things of that sort, there's a rollout. You know what I'm saying? There's a rollout. And it's like they're, let's just say, I mean, like God Level has been talking about the whole entire time, making these small changes in her life. King has talked about his journey. You know what I'm saying? His journey. So that means that his brand from 36 has changed to the age that he's at now. You understand what I'm saying? It is a gradual progression.
It is.
The disruption happens where it's abrupt and it seems out of, you know what I'm saying? And you're allowed to do what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to do whatever you want to because you got your own autonomy. But when it's so abrupt, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, that doesn't align. Oh, am I not? Am I? And you don't owe me nothing, right? Nobody owes me anything. I owe myself what I owe myself. But my thing is that if this is what I saw, and these are the things that you kind of like, like a company went out with their values with, and then they automatically just change that. And it's that abrupt. You'd be like, nah, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of the brand changed. So it's like, it's almost like you just don't.
It's a call for questioning. Hey, I got to reevaluate this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't put him out for hypocrisy. I put him out because I was like, this doesn't align with, this was really abrupt. Like this was complete and total left. I'm just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Because I was one of those people. I'm not even going to.
And by the way, Snoop owned up to it. So it's like, is it really hypocrisy if he owned up to it? He said, in so many ways, he was like, hey, I'm still 100% black, and that's that, right? And so in a way, he's conveying to the fans very ambiguously, like, yo, you just don't know. You know what you think you know, and that's it. I'm still here. I'm still gonna rep. And it's like, all right. So what do you do, right? What is the social reaction to that? So what was it? 500,000. He lost like 500,000 followers in that day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But to him, he wasn't phased by it. He wasn't phased by it, right? So that tends to be when it comes to celebrities. That's how we treat hypocrisy when it comes to celebrities. It's a quick unfollow. It's I'm not going to support your cinema, your movies, your product, your merch. I'm not going to support you. So it can be financial. But is it always that easy for everybody else? Is it?
We're going to cut right there.
Oh, I sure had some.
Good shit.
We're going to cut right there.
Yeah, that's good.
You have like several. I know you have like more questions.
Yep.
But yeah, we've been going for an hour, more than an hour and 5 minutes right now. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. This has been good. I have learned a lot.
Yeah.
Especially since I am rebuilding right now. I literally, and it's we're gonna have to go backstage to talk about this. We're gonna have to talk about ego.
I want that last question too.
And I want to talk about shame.
I want that last question first.
I definitely want to talk about shame.
That's gonna be big.
Yeah.
John called me a workaholic.
Yeah.
And my feelings was hurt. But then I had to soak in it. And you can't be a workaholic in one space of your life. You got to put the reps in all the spaces in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Because for a second, I was a workaholic.
I'm like, let me log on.
John is just, if it's one thing about John, he is going to be honest.
Oh, no.
He is going to be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't say that to say it was a negative connotation when he said
No. Oh, I know what you mean. You just weren't ready.
Yeah.
I've had those conversations with him, and I wasn't ready, and I had to sit with myself. Yeah, I wasn't ready. And he didn't do it in a like malicious way. Like he wasn't being malicious, being negative. No. He was just keeping it, as Ivy would say, a buck, and you gotta respect that. If you don't, we need to talk about that. Yeah. Who do you surround yourself with? Do you surround yourself with people who enable you to be who you are? Or do you surround yourself with people who hold you accountable?
Oh, hold on. Oh, real quick on that.
Boom.
And I think I got the good end of the stick. I really think I got the good end of the stick when it comes to this, because I have I'm surrounding myself with a bunch of people whose opinion I hold over mine, who I would look at and admire. So it's easier to hear. So if you're not surrounding yourself with people that you look up to, that you like or love, you gotta find a voice that you hold over yours.
You trust them, yeah. It's one that you trust, yeah.
But look at everything. A quick research. Just look if they don't have the life that you want. That's not the first thing.
The example, yeah.
Because everybody, we're all a part of each other. So there's an example out there of what the hell we want. So if you can attach yourself to that person that got that thing, and now you're surrounded with their people, which now I got my tribe, it's easy for me.
I like that.
I do too.
And we're going to leave off on that note. We'll see you all back here next week for Are You Really Living According to Your Values? Part 2. John, you have me.